Hello all, welcome to class today. This is Artisan Bazelle, a sewing class for beginners. So today we are going to be looking at the Singer Simple 2263 sewing machine. We are going to be going over the simple functions of the machine and the location to where things are on the machine. So let's get started. So our first area is number 1, which is the bobbin winder. So with the bobbin winder, you would have an empty bobbin that you would place on that metal piece that's sticking up, and you would move it to the right to lock it in place to activate the bobbin to be threaded. So looking at number 2 is the spool pin, which threads the bobbin. So the spool pin, and then we have 2A, which is the spool pin cap, which holds the thread in place so that it can properly work. The spool pin is a small dual that holds the thread. Let's see, it can be on some machines either horizontal or vertical, but having it horizontal, it provides a smoother thread feed. So that is the best direction for a spool pin to be on a machine, but sometimes machines have both at the same time for different types of sewing projects. So let's go to number 3, which is the thread guide. And number 4 and 4A also is a thread guide as well. So it guides the thread through the the different metal loops to help pretty much regulate tension for the thread. So let's see, looking at number 4, you would see a bobbin winder tension disc, which helps bob the it helps thread the bobbin winder. So you would use that just for that, and it's a little disc that you would pull the thread underneath until you feel a little bit of a click in order for it to properly work. If it's not pulled tight enough within that area, it can be a looser thread around your bobbin, which is not what you want. So let's go to number 5. Number 5 is the take up lever. So the take up lever is sometimes on the outside of the machine or the inside of the machine. In this case, for this sewing machine, it is encased on the inside, but you can still see it when looking through those slits along the front of the machine. So let's see. We have number 6, which is the reverse stitch button, or otherwise known as the backstitch button. So this is a button that you would use to either lock your stitch, meaning it reinforces it, or it pretty much brings about a closing at the end of your stitch and at the beginning for some garments. It looks like we have number 7 here, which is a stitch length selector. So you would select the stitch length that you desire for the piece that you are looking to sew. Number 8 is the stitch selector. It allows you to choose a different stitch pattern for your garment. Then we have number 9, which is over there on the side, which is called a flywheel. So that knob on the side there is also called a hand wheel as well. So raising and lowering the take up lever is what that knob does. So the take up lever is number 5, as we spoke before. When you turn this only toward you, would turn it toward you, the knob, twisting it. it it makes the take up lever go up and down. So you want to make sure that you are turning this always towards you, and it allows it to move the inside of that metal piece in number 5 called the take up lever. So that is what helps you thread the machine when you want to bring it up to the highest point in order to get the thread within it. So in our next video, hopefully, I'm looking to do a video where it demonstrates the threading of a machine and a bobbin. So going to number 10, we are going to look at the area. So I'm going to name off a couple things that are located in this spot. Starting with the presser foot. So the presser foot keeps the fabric in place. So there are different types of presser foots. Depending on the technique and the fabric that you're using, you would change your presser foot. So we have a needle that is also in this area that you would also change depending on the fabric that you're looking to use. And then there's a needle clamp. The needle clamp pretty much holds the needle in place. There's a little lever on the side of the number 10 that is sticking out that you would twist counterclockwise to pretty much undo the needle to change it out. Whenever it gets dull, you'll notice that your fabric, your stitches are skipping in the fabric. So going on to the next item here, we have in this area, it's called a needle plate or a throat plate. So what this is, pretty much it's a small area, an opening in the plate that allows the bobbin thread to come out from the bottom of it, and also the needle to pass through to make the stitch. So most throat plates have a small line, notches, along the right part of the right side of the presser foot, which help guide you for the seam allowance and also the stitch, making it a straight stitch. So you would follow those notch lines along the side of that plate, which is the throat plate or the needle plate. So also in that area you would find the feed dog. The feed dog is pretty much little metal ridges, or it can be rubber. So these notches help move the fabric along the machine. So it's between the presser foot and also the throat plate or needle plate. So the feed dogs move the fabric through the machine. You just guide it. So you never want to pull the fabric as it's being sewn. So it looks like we also have number 11. Number 11 is hidden behind pretty much number 12. If you could see on the screen here, number 12 is on the front of the machine. If you were to remove that case, you would find behind it the bobbin case. So sometimes you can access the bobbin case from the top of the machine where number 10 is located, or you can find it through the front part of the machine where you would have to remove pretty much like a case that allows you to access the bobbin case. So looking at number 12, we have a drawer. So removing that piece there, you have a drawer where you would have extra pieces and accessories that go along with your machine, or different sewing projects that you would have in there, like other presser foots, needles, anything that you would like, you could place into a little drawer inside of that big case that removes, which is number 12. Looking at number 13, it looks like we have a notch to change the tension of your thread. And it also looks like for number 14, we have a length stitch notch that changes the length of your stitch. And in most cases, when making buttonholes, you would move number 7 and number 14 in order to get the proper stitch width and also length to make that. And in another video, hopefully we can go ahead and go over that. If you guys have any questions, you can go ahead and leave a comment in the area below. Other than that, I will see you at the next class. Have a good day.